morning and welcome to News at 10 on Rajya Sabha TV, our half-an-hour news bulletin that will give you a complete roundup of events as they happen in India and from around the world. Well, our reporters are keeping a close watch on the biggest stories as they happen in the course of the day. Well, Pranav Goswami will be updating us on the governor's rule that has been imposed in Jammu and Kashmir. Also, we have Akhilesh Suman with us. He's looking at the geopolitical situation as far as India and Pakistan are concerned. Well, this coming in the background of the Pathankot Air Force attack. And also, Ravinder Sharma is keeping an eye on the latest developments from the national capital. Remember, OddEven scheme is likely to get extended run. We'll get you all the updates from him. But let us begin by headlines. Pakistan claims it is carrying out investigations speedily into the Pathankot attack, and John Kerry calls Nawaz Sharif to assure him of the US support in the probe. Focus shifts to Foreign Secretary level talks between India and Pakistan amid skepticism in India. Sharif's advisor Sartaj Aziz says meeting will be held as scheduled. Sonia Gandhi to call on Mehbooba Mufti to condole passing away of Mufti Muhammad Saeed. And Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj appeals to millions of Indian origin people to turn to their homeland, invest in the government's flagship schemes. Well, the day's biggest story. Pakistan says the Foreign Secretary level talks with India are intact. And Sartaj Aziz, the Foreign Affairs Advisor to Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, said that his government was following New Delhi's leads on the terror attack at the Pathankot air base. The US also extended its support to the Pakistani investigation into the incident. US Secretary of State John Kerry called up Sharif to discuss the need to stay focused on addressing terrorism. Yesterday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the Pathankot air base where 7 Indian security personnel were killed in the attack. The Prime Minister voiced his satisfaction over the Indian counter-offensive amounted to neutralize the 6 intruders. Meanwhile, former National Security Advisor M.K. Narayanan called for suspension of the Foreign Secretary level talks with Pakistan. He echoed criticism that the talks had been invested with a certain level of totally uncalled for glamour. All right, so at the moment, Pakistan is saying that the Foreign Secretary level talks with India are intact. Remember, Sartaj Aziz, who is the Foreign Affairs Advisor to Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, said that his government was following New Delhi's leads on terror attack at the Pathankot air base. Meanwhile, US Secretary of State John Kerry has also called up Nawaz Sharif to discuss the need to stay focused on addressing terrorism. Remember, all this is coming in the backdrop of Prime Minister Narendra Modi yesterday visiting the Pathankot air base. Remember, 7 security personnel were killed in that attack. The Prime Minister voiced his satisfaction over the Indian counter-offensive. Well, for more on this, let's go across to my colleague Akhilesh Suman, who is tracking all those developments very, very closely. Akhilesh, now US has told Pakistan to act fast against the Pathankot attack perpetrators. Do you think now this is going to pressurize in making Pakistan really walk the talk on terrorism?
Actually, this is going to pressurize Pakistan because India has done a bottom line. India has given a bottom line that something must be coming on ground after this attack has taken place in Pathankot. And if something doesn't come on the ground, at least there should be some arrest, there should be some inquiry set up on this whole issue. And unless this issue comes up to the notice of India, I don't think there is going to be Foreign Secretary level talk on 15th of January this year.
Yeah, but Sartaj Aziz is saying that Pakistan and India foreign secretaries are going to meet as scheduled on 15th of this month. But India has linked these talks to Islamabad's action really on the Pathankot terror attack. So what happens next?
Actually, Sartaj Aziz will always tell that yes, foreign secretary level talks are on because it is the Pakistan who has to do something on this. Terrorist attack has taken place in India, and India has the concern that how this terrorist attack taken place, even if Pakistan Prime Minister visited Lahore to create a situation of friendship between the two countries, and India has been affected because of terrorism, not Pakistan. That is why India has told that yes, there is no deadline on this issue. It is very diplomatic word that has been used by India. There is no what to do and what not to do. But India has told that we have provided actionable intelligence to Pakistan, and Pakistan has to act on this. The words must match the deed in Pakistan. That is what Indian External Affairs Ministry establishment is telling us. And then I think that this should be taken as a bottom line, that Pakistan has to do something on the ground that should be visible to the whole world, that yes, Pakistan has started taking action against the terrorists who has perpetrated this crime, and also against the terrorists who are acting against India. Tina.
Akhilesh, but at the same time, now Pakistan is saying that it is actually carrying out investigations in a transparent manner, and it will soon bring out the truth as far as the attack on the Air Force base in Pathankot is concerned. Under these circumstances, in case India decides to cancel the talks, India will not have a lot of explanation really to do?
Yeah, actually, India doesn't have to give explanation because the way Prime Minister has flown to Kabul and then to Lahore, it was a situation to create a bonhomie among the whole region of SAARC that connects India with Central Asian countries via Pakistan, Afghanistan, and then to Central Asia. So Prime Minister has tried to create a situation of peace and tranquility among these nations, and he went to Lahore, giving the surprise to all the security set up in the whole world. But if there is a terrorist attack after all this bonhomie, it was a personal touch that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has shown to Nawaz Sharif. And if a terrorist attack takes place in India, it is not the question on India, but it is the question on Pakistan, that whether Pakistan is in control of everything that is happening from the ground of Pakistan. Whatever India does, it should not be correlated just that whether India wants to talk or not. It is also related to whether India is safe from the Pakistani side or not. And if Pakistani side is always telling that terror cannot take place from our ground, and terror is taking place in India almost every time when India tries to take an initiative of talk, then I think that explanation is for Pakistan, not for India. Yeah.
But at the same time, Akhilesh, now there's a lot of pressure on the ruling dispensation as well as far as India is concerned, because remember Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Pathankot also attracted a lot of criticism really from the opposition parties. They are actually criticizing the NDA government's policy really on terrorism, isn't it?
Yeah. Naturally, when everyone was taken aback, when Prime Minister all of a sudden landed in Islamabad and then went to Lahore, and then everything came on media that yes, Prime Minister Narendra Modi called Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, and yes, he went to meet. But everyone told that diplomacy cannot be done. But everyone was having chicken tongue that okay, if it creates a positive result between the two countries, everyone will accept. And you know that in India there is a great votary of talk between India and Pakistan. There has been a great votary for good relation between India and Pakistan, and it was BJP who has been always scared because terror and talk cannot go together. But if BJP government, if the NDA government had taken initiative, people were a bit surprised, but everyone was feeling that okay, if it goes in positive direction, it is good for all of us. But now what has happened? Terrorist attack has taken place, and then everything has come to a standstill. Every political party will talk. Every political party tells that there should be a situation of conducive situation of talk, and every party is telling, including Shiv Sena, which is ally of India government. It is also telling that how can you talk in such an atmosphere? How can you believe Pakistan?
Yes.
So explanation has to be given from the side of Pakistan. Not from the side of India.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Akhilesh, for all those details there. So uncertainties is right now prevailing on the talks as far as India is Pakistan is concerned. Now, Sartaj is saying the talks will go on as scheduled. But at the moment, there is uncertainty. There is no official word really from India. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the Pathankot Air Force Base attracted sharp criticism from the opposition parties. Now, most of them picked holes in the NDA government's policy of engagement with Pakistan. The airbase, remember, was attacked less than a week ago by the Pakistani terrorists.
A week after terrorists wreaked havoc at the strategic Air Force base in Pathankot, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the base for a first-hand assessment of the situation. Opposition parties, however, once again asked the NDA government to make amends in its policy of engagement with Pakistan.
Well, nothing will happen. Well, the Pakistanis are not interested in peace. The government of India should realize that we've been trying it for the last 36 years. It's not worked. And it's not going to work. So rather than clutching at straws and rather than trying to validate every little statement which comes out of Pakistan, the Prime Minister and the government of India need to find a new template of dealing with Pakistan. And the first milestone in that new template is calling off the Foreign Secretary level talks.
इनकी कूटनीतिक फेल्योर है, इनका वो तो उसका पर्दाफाश हो गया, डे वन से हो रहा है। जिस तरह की लंबी चौड़ी बात करते थे और जिस तरह से हमारे सैनिक शहीद हो रहे हैं, हमारी सीमा का उल्लंघन हो रहा है, आतंकवादी घटनाएं ये जब आते हैं बढ़ती है।
We welcome the Prime Minister must go, must see the site himself, must review the situation and must also reflect on what went wrong with the coordination at Pathankot. However, we also expect our Prime Minister to evolve a coherent strategy vis-a-vis Pakistan.
The ruling party, meanwhile, has defended the steps taken by the government after last week's terror attack.
Pathankot incident is a very serious terrorist attack. The Prime Minister today, Narendra Modi ji, is in Pathankot. And obviously, we are all concerned about it. And as the Ministry of External Affairs has said, we expect some prompt action.
6 terrorists believed to owe allegiance to Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed were gunned down by the security forces after a 4-day gun battle at the Air Force base last week. 7 security personnel also lost their lives in the attack. Vishal Dahiya, Rajya Sabha TV, Delhi.
Well, news coming in from Jammu and Kashmir. Well, Congress President Sonia Gandhi is expected to visit the state today. She will offer condolences to PDP President Mehbooba Mufti on the demise of her father, Mufti Mohammad Saeed. The Jammu and Kashmir Pradesh Congress Committee said that Sonia was slated to visit the Srinagar residence of the Muftis in the afternoon today. Remember, her visit comes in the time when the state is under governor's rule after passing away of Chief Minister Mufti Mohammad Saeed on 7th of January. The constitutional vacuum in the state was the outcome of the reluctance of Mufti's daughter Mehbooba to take oath during the mourning period. PDP's coalition ally BJP also indicated that it will take a decision on the new government after the 4-day mourning period ends on Monday. Well, for more on this, let's go across to my colleague Pranav Goswami. Pranav, now J&K has been under governor's rule now. That is because of the reluctance of Mehbooba Mufti to take oath during the mourning period. Now, when is the government formation likely?
Once the mourning period will be over, then Mehbooba Mufti will take oath, and the ally coalition partner BJP has also indicated and very clearly indicated that they don't have any problem accepting Mehbooba Mufti as Chief Minister. And as far as PDP is concerned, PDP's legislative party also has accepted Mehbooba Mufti as their leader. So it is just a matter of time. Once the mourning period will be over, then Mehbooba Mufti will take oath as the first Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir.
Pranav, now Mehbooba Mufti will also be the first woman Chief Minister of the state. What are the PDP MLAs saying? What are they expecting?
As we know, when the Jammu Kashmir election results came out, and that time BJP, it was not a very natural alliance between BJP and PDP. That time also Mehbooba Mufti's name was there as Chief Minister, but that time BJP, the coalition partner of that government, did not accept Mehbooba Mufti because we've been knowing that the soft corner which Mehbooba Mufti has been showing towards the separatist group. So that was there was a dispute. But after the sudden demise of Mufti Saeed. Now BJP's top leadership has also accepted in this situation Mehbooba Mufti's candidature as Chief Minister. So now it's just a formality, and it's going to be happening in few days when the mourning period will be over. And it has just this government rules has been imposed just because Mehbooba Mufti has said that in this deep grief situation she is not ready to take oath.
Pranav, now as far as later Mufti Muhammad Saeed was concerned, he was considered to be someone with a lot of experience in state politics as well as national politics. But as far as Mehbooba Mufti is concerned, she is to be known to be a very fiery sort of personality. Under these circumstances, how does BJP and PDP coalition expected to work?
This was an important question, and that is why BJP actually was not very keen to support Mehbooba Mufti's candidature as Chief Minister. But in this situation, when suddenly Mufti Saeed died, and after that there was no option, and we all know that Mehbooba Mufti has been very active in politics, and she's also MP from Kashmir Valley. So now, because that is the PDP is having 28 MLAs and BJP is having 25 MLAs in Jammu Kashmir Assembly. So now BJP also doesn't want to lose this coalition. So in this situation, in these options, only this option is left. That is why BJP's leadership has decided that and had clearly indicated that they will have to, or they will be supporting Mehbooba Mufti as Chief Minister of Jammu Kashmir.
All right, Pranav, thank you so much for those details. We'll keep coming back to you on that story. Let's move on in the bulletin now. Well, Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister M. Venkaiah Naidu expressed hope that the GST Bill will be passed in the budget session of Parliament. Now, addressing a meeting of a Real Estate Developers Association in Delhi yesterday, Naidu expressed hope that Parliament will be able to pass it in the budget session. He said that in line with the wishes of the Congress, the government had already incorporated a provision to cap the peak GST rate. Now, speaking at a different event in Mumbai, however, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley singled out the top Congress leadership for stalling the GST bill. Jaitley said that some people get sadistic pleasure in obstruction. He also claimed that most of the party's second-rung leaders were supportive of the key tax reform legislation. Well, let's go across to my colleague Vishal Daya for more on this. Vishal, now BJP says it is hopeful of clearing the GST bill in the upcoming budget session, but the Congress has been seeking 3 important changes in the bill. So is it now ready to budge?
Well, nothing of that sort is happening as of now. The indications which are coming in from the main opposition party, and specifically the statements which have come in from their senior leaders in the past few days, are clearly indicative of the fact that there has been no change in the stand of the main opposition party as far as the GST bill is concerned. The Congress still maintains that till the time 3 of its demands for amendments, 3 major amendments in the GST bill, the proposed GST bill, are not accepted by the government, it would be difficult for the party to go ahead and lend support to the bill. And the government's statements coming in are clearly an indication that the government is now once again trying to get the bill cleared in the forthcoming budget session, which is likely to begin in the second half of February. It's trying to garner more support and try and find a way out, or rather way around Congress as well, if at all push comes to shove, because there have been 2 rather significant approaches which have been made by the government towards the main opposition party. One in November, when the Prime Minister met Congress President and the former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh on the issue, and the other just 2 days back by the Parliamentary Affairs Minister in one again in another meeting with the Congress President. But there have been no, while both sides have been claiming that there have been no assurances given by the other side. The Congress says there is no assurance from the government on acceptance of its demands, and the government says there is no assurance from the Congress on support to the GST bill. So as of now, the stalemate still continues. We might see some more, counter allegations and counter allegations being leveled by both sides. But then it's all going to boil down to the beginning of the budget session, and the picture might get clearer when the House starts the proceedings.
All right, Vishal, thank you so much for those details there. And Delhi Transport Minister Gopal Rai yesterday said that the government will not extend the odd-even car scheme beyond 15th of January. Rai said that it will study the data collected from the trial scheme to do a proper analysis before taking a final decision. Now, his comments came after the Delhi High Court sought a pollution report from the government and asked the justification behind continuing the odd-even plan for more than a week, causing inconvenience to the commuters. Giving details of the trial, Rai said that a total of 5,893 challans were issued against drivers who violated the rule. He also countered allegations that the car rationing policy did not have much impact on the air quality.
40 से अगर आप पैमाना नापोगे तो ये जो 350 400 ज्यादा दिख रहा है, लेकिन 600 से अगर आप देखोगे तो अगर यहाँ पर आके खड़ा है, आज ऑड इवन नहीं होता तो दिल्ली के अंदर 2.5 600 पर होता.
Well, for more on this, let's go across to my colleague Ravinder Sharma, who is joining us from the national capital. Ravinder, now that the Delhi government has told the Delhi High Court that it will continue, would decide really on continuing with the odd-even scheme after the 15th, after it analyzes the pollution levels and how the scheme has led to the pollution levels being dropped. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, Aishwarya, the Transport Minister of Delhi, Gopal Rai, in a press conference yesterday said that around 6,000 challans has been issued for the violation of odd-even policy. Also, he said that more than 60,000 cars has been shifted from the petrol to CNG. This is the basic outcome which they are getting right now. Besides this, the Transport Minister's statement which he has given to the press yesterday is exactly opposite to what the government of Delhi has said in the Delhi High Court during the hearing on the last Friday through its counsel, Senior Advocate Harish Salve, when the government said that for the better analysis of this scheme and the better outcome, to know the better outcome of the scheme, they want to extend the scheme for at least a week. And now the Transport Minister is saying that they are not going to extend the scheme beyond 15th of this month, which was the original plan. Everything will be decided on 11th of January when the court will deliver its judgment on this issue. When a lot of the court will dispose of many petitions which are challenging which include the legality of this whole odd-even notification which was issued by the Transport Ministry of Delhi government. Beside this, this one was given exemption given to the women drivers and to the motorbikers. This is also under the observation in the Delhi High Court. It will be decided on 11th of January. After this, the future of odd-even, this vehicular rationing scheme will be decided.
All right, Ravinder, thank you so much for those details there. The government right now adopting contradictory stands really on the scheme. While it has told the court that it will extend, it wants to extend the scheme beyond 15th of January. It is saying in public that it has no intention of doing so at the moment. Meanwhile, the government has told the Delhi High Court that it would decide on continuing with the scheme after analysing the pollution data collected till 15th of January. In other news, Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj appealed to millions of people of Indian origin across the world to turn to their homeland. She has asked them to invest in the government's flagship schemes to boost investment and generate jobs. In her address to the first limited edition of Pravasi Bharatiya Divas yesterday, Sushma asked the diaspora to take part in programs like Skill India, Digital India and Clean Ganga initiatives. The PBD webcast by almost all Indian missions and posts was organized for the first time by the Ministry of External Affairs after the government's decision to merge the Ministry of Overseas Indian Affairs with it.
आज भारत में कमाने के नए नए अवसर पैदा हो रहे हैं. आज देश लौटने का समय है. जब पहली पीढ़ी यहाँ से बाहर गई थी तो ये सोच कर गई थी कि जवानी के दिन वहाँ लगाएंगे, कमाएंगे, लेकिन बाद में बुढ़ापा तो अपनों के बीच ही आकर बिताएंगे. अब वो सपना सच होने का समय आ रहा है.
All right, so Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj there appealing to millions of people of Indian origin across the world to turn to their homeland. Remember, in the addressing of the Pravasi Bharatiya Sammelan, she asked the people of Indian origin to invest in the government's flagship programs, and so that it boosts the investments and generate jobs in the country. Remember, it was her first address to the first limited edition of Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. For more on this, let's go across to my colleague Rajkamal Rao, who is joining us on the phone line. Rajkamal, what more can you tell us where there is Sushma Swaraj appealing to millions of Indians for people of Indian origin really to invest in the government's flagship programs?
Hello.
Rajkamal, can you hear me?
This is the wrong number.
All right. There seems to be some problem with that link. We'll try to connect back to my colleague in the subsequent bulletins. Meanwhile, voting for the first phase of panchayat elections are underway in Haryana for the election of sarpanches, panches, panchayat samitis and zilla parishads. Now, elections are being held in 47 blocks in which 8,981 polling stations have been set up and more than 46 lakh people would cast their vote. 3,339 candidates are contesting elections for 416 wards of Zilla Parishads, 4,883 candidates for 1,221 wards of Panchayat Samitis, 11,296 for 2,583 posts of Sarpanches and 24,143 for 26,248 posts of Panches in the first phase. Well, the result for the posts of sarpanches and panches will be declared today itself, while the results for panchayat samitis and zilla parishads will be announced on 28th of January. Elections for the second and third phase will be held on 17th and 24th of January, respectively. Meanwhile, a week after it was constituted to look into the revamp of the Censor Board, the Shyam Benegal-led committee today met Information and Broadcasting Minister Arun Jaitley. The panel discussed the functioning and possible changes in guidelines and policies of the Censor Board that has been mired in controversies. Renowned filmmaker Benegal has suggested amendments to the guidelines and reworking the scope of the board for clearing movies. The panel will be submitting its detailed report to the government in 2 months. Apart from Jaitley, Union Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting, Ravinder Sharma, was also present at the meet. The panel includes filmmaker R.O. Mehta, Piyush Pandey and film critic Bhavna Sumaya. National Film Development Council MD Neena Lath Gupta and Joint Secretary Films Sanjay Murthy are also part of this panel. And well, before we end the bulletin, a quick programming note. Rajya Sabha TV will be seen in a brand new appearance from today evening. Vice President Mohammad Habib Ansari will formally launch the new look of Rajya Sabha television at a special function at Delhi's Vigyan Bhavan at 4 p.m. today. Rajya Sabha TV will telecast the event live. On the occasion, the Vice President will also release 2 books titled Moments of Eureka and Scientifically Yours. Now, these books are based on the various interviews of scientists featured on Rajya Sabha TV's popular science-based show Eureka. Well, this will be followed by a panel discussion on scientific temper, a prerequisite for knowledge-based society. So don't forget to tune in at 4 p.m. live on Rajya Sabha TV. Well, that's all in this edition of news, but news and updates continue on your channel. Thanks for watching.